I'm back. I have in my possession a bowl of fruit. Also, I voted today. I say I voted. It was literally on a single proposition because I live in California right now. But hello. Oh god, that music is loud on my end. Turn that down. Okay, cool. The stream is working as intended. Hello, Tristan. I doubt many people are going to be on. It's a fucking weekday stream. Right now, I'm just kind of like looking through what's changed in Trench Crusade. I've only seen a few things. If you heard that, I'm sorry. That was the bowl of fruit opening. But Trench Crusade 1.0 finally came out. So I'm looking at that and seeing what the difference is. I only know that the Werewolf got nerfed. Apparently, Artillery Witch got nerfed. And I believe the anti-tank communicant got nerfed. Past that, not much changes, which is kind of disappointing, but I'll complain about that as I go. By the way, fuck. You can't really see it, but dude, did you briefly do something a few hours ago because my Dio bot went off? What the fuck are you talking about? What? Did I do something a few hours ago? I don't follow. I don't follow in the slightest. Let me go to Trench Crusade over here. And I guess we'll just start looking through the warbands one by one. But yeah, 1.0 is out if you care about Trench Crusade. Let me do this. Let's look through the rules first. I have a bot that calls my phone when you post a video, and it called me a little while ago. I haven't posted anything, so also that's weird, but sure. Here we go. Pretty sure most of the normal rules are still standard. Yeah, you can move, charge, or retreat. It's still the movement options. Dashing can be done in addition. Dedicated fan, real, but also kind of creepy. Not gonna lie. You do what you like, but I'm allowed to comment on it because we believe in the First Amendment. A dash action can be carried on in addition. You move your amount number of equals distant to or equal to its movement characteristic if you succeed. If it fails because it's a risky action, it ends. Okay, I remember somebody saying you could dash out of melee combat. That does not seem to be the case unless they're talking about like an assassin or something. Yep, shooting attack is still the same. Melee attack is still the same. Same thing as normal. 2 and 6 is a failure. 7, 11 is a success. 12 up is a crit. Plus dice and minus dice seem to be the same. Yeah, so it seems to be the exact same. I don't think a lot of big changes happened in 1.0, which is kind of annoying, but I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't have done a countdown for it if it wasn't going to be like massive sweeping changes. Instead, it just feels like a lot of clarification on the rules. Which is funny because there's still like a shit ton of typos in this stuff. And there's some things that aren't so clear. I know some keywords got changed, and that's about it. One thing I was kind of hoping is that long range would have been changed, but I get why it hasn't been. But still, it kind of sucks to be shooting at -1 dice on your most basic infantry because the range of your guns is only 24 inches, which would make it so your normal range is 12, and you don't get bonuses for shooting in short range. Yeah, cover. Is cover different? If model's cover is within contact and it's at least a ½ inch high and as wide as its base. Okay. So you can't just hide behind like a fucking light post, basically, is all they're saying. I'm pretty sure elevated position used to only be 2 inches, but I might be wrong. It might have always been 3. Melee is still the same. Choose a melee attack within 1 inch to successful roll. If the roll is a failure, the attack misses and has no effect. If the roll is success, makes an injury, add +1 injury dice if it's a critical success, which is the same as shooting. Multiple melee weapons. -1 dice for the second attack. Fear, -1 dice when attacking something with fear and melee. If both models cause fear, it's canceled out. Exact same. Defended obstacle, -1 dice if the target is in cover, and if the cover is in contact, if model is covered with the contact screen piece. Basically, if you're just attacking somebody through cover, like a barricade or something, you get -1 dice, which doesn't come up as much as you think. Sup, hello, Robbie. Being in cover and fighting in melee doesn't happen as much as you think, unless you're like fighting in a ruin somehow. Diving charge never fucking happens unless you're fighting in like trenches. The model may attempt a diving charge on an enemy if there's at least 3 inches below it. Add +1 dice to melee attacks your model makes on this enemy within 1 inch of where it lands, unless your model was taken down or taken out of action by the fall. And falling, which is funny because you can fall if you do a diving charge, but if you fall 3 or more inches, there's a chance to be injured. You basically just roll on the injury chart and you will probably take a blood marker doing it, but still, it's kind of cool. You could just like fucking Assassin's Creed people. You're gonna get hurt doing it, but you know, it's worth it. Factory Fortress gives us more black rail units. Factory Fortress gives us more fucking like just models and like sub factions in general. I'm fucking begging you. Injury rolls are still the exact same. We're still in blood marker territory. There's no health on units, which is okay. Like, it's fine. It kind of has, it's part of the identity of the game, I guess. Yeah. Blood markers can add injury dice. Critical success adds an injury dice. When you're down and meleeing somebody, you get an injury dice. Tread shield can get stacked up to reinforced armor. Machine armor is still a thing, and tough is still the exact same. Okay. Blood markers have not changed at all. Bloodbath is still 6 for everybody, unless someone's down, which is 3. Which bloodbath is if you roll 3 dice for the injury table and add all 3 together, which kind of sucks, but we'll get into that. Was it blessing markers are the same, and only like 3 models in the entire fucking game get it. Down is the same as always. Wait, what is this? Wait, hold on. If a model is taken down, add -1 dice to any rolls you take for that model that is down. Oh yeah, a model cannot be used for any reason until it stands back up. That's interesting. A model is down, stands back up, and say I fit have a smooth characteristics half, including bonuses to charge. Wait, hold on. A model that is down stands back up when it is next activated. However, its movement characteristics half, including the bonus to charge. So if only your movement character. So my understanding was that down used to be when you stand up, you're also at -1 dice for everything. If it's just half movement characteristic, that honestly isn't that bad. You can stand up and just start beating the fuck out of people in melee. It's not that bad. End of activations. Once you take any and all actions you wish, or I failed a risky action, so on and so forth, your fucking boy stops. Morale change has, or the morale phase has been changed, which thank God. What it is now is that when you roll morale, if you fail the first time, you become shaken, and all shaken is now is that you don't have minus dice on every single one of your rolls, which is what it used to be. And shaken also used to just be a what is it called, an optional rule. It was not baked into the game. Now all it is that, I say all it is, it's still pretty insane, but your entire warband now treats every action as a risky action, rather than just having -1 dice for everything, which does suck, but it doesn't like hinder you as much. The warband is no longer shaken when you succeed a morale check again. However, if you fail a morale check in the next morale phase, so if you fail 2 morale checks in a row, you lose the game. It's now just, or it's now not, if you lose once, you auto lose, which thank God, because that shit was ass. Oh, I don't really care how much money I have to throw at this problem. I won't stop until there's enough Grail models to kit bash the Gravemind in Halo 3, or you could probably just find an STL somewhere out there in the wild. But I don't know if anybody's making Gravemind STLs. I know they wouldn't. Hold on. It'd be cool if this was a model. I know it would. I know it should never be, but the Hegemon, like down there on the bottom, is an actual like gravestone. This thing is just fucking massive. Apparently somebody made a Black Grail Hegemon, which oh, that's so fucking sick. Someone actually printed it up. I'm not a fan of Black Grail. I don't know if there's a link around here. Seemingly they're, I mean, people printed it, but that's fucking cool. Oh, it has a little thing. Has a little like Beelzebub text bubble on the bottom. That's fucking cool. That's why I like this game, is that you just have people doing shit like this. It's so fucking awesome. Here we go. A warband should be 6 to 20 models. No, it says typically. That's funny. We recommend you use the Trench Crusade range for obvious reasons. However, if you prefer auto models, don't worry, witch burners will not be dispatched to cleanse your lack of purity. I like that. Yeah, friendly models and all this shit. And then battlefield should at least be 30 inches wide, or 3x3 or 4x4. Terrain. Hit measure. Sixes and D3s. Scenarios, core concepts. Here we go. I already know this is how just rolls, how they work. Risky actions, which if you fail, your turn ends. Bonus dice, same thing. I love how they do all these illustrations. It actually really helps. Blood markers, placing blood markers. No model can have more than 6. Same shit, same shit. Profiles, also same shit. What I want to know is, do they talk about keywords at any point? They're talking about it down here, so I'm just going to go down to the keywords because nothing else has changed so far. The keywords are different though. At least some of them are. Plus dice, plus injury dice, plus modifier, all the same shit. Actions. Armor piercing. Okay. I think this is new. I have not seen this before. A weapon with this keyword reduces the target's armor injury modifier by a total of X, I believe. Yeah. Or no, by 1. To a minimum of 0. That's interesting. As far as I know, the only thing that does this is armor piercing rounds, which I believe are only a campaign item, but I might be wrong. However, it's kind of neat to know. Armor piercing is basically just, it means armor piercing rounds makes your armor worse. Artificial is a tag, which doesn't really do anything on its own. Assault, same thing. You can still charge and perform melee attacks after shooting. Automatic is different. Automatic got changed. You can make a number of range attacks of this weapon equal to X, rather than it just saying this weapon makes 2 attacks or this weapon makes 3 attacks. It now has its own keyword. And you can only target enemies within 6 inches of each other. Resolve each attack one at a time. Yeah, so you don't, it's not like a blast where you roll just a standard injury for everybody. You can split your shots. Black rail is just a tag. Blast, I think, is the same. No, blast is different. A ranged weapon with blast X has a blast equal to X inches, including vertically. I'm glad they put that there because I remember that was a thing I talked about a long time ago when I was playing with my friend. When you make an attack, you must pick a target point for the attack. The target point can either be a point on the battlefield or an enemy model. Whichever you choose must be within the model's line of sight. So if you could shoot an anti-tank rifle at the ground, I guess, is what they're saying, if it has the blast keyword, which is kind of cool. If the success feels a failure, the attack misses and nothing happens unless the weapon also has the scatter keyword. Okay. If the success is rolled for critical success, make an injury roll for everything within the blast radius. Okay, so blast is the same, it just takes into account scatter as well. Interesting. Which scatter would normally have blast in it anyways, but I guess that's not the point. Blessed X. When you deploy this model with the keyword, you can get a number of blasting markers equal to X. Oh, cool. I don't know if that was in the game earlier. Ooh, there's other stuff. Yeah, blessing markers tag, temporarily blessing markers. Block. Add -1 dice for melee attacks. Targeting a model with this keyword. Weapons that has this keyword if the attacker made a charge action before the attack this round. Interesting. I don't know if this includes trench shields. Don't think it does, but that'd be kind of interesting if trench shields just like shut down melee a little bit. Ever critical. Both these are the same. Cumbersome is the same. Demonic Elite. Fear is still the same. Fear cancels out fear. Fire after making the injury roll. Okay. So fire and gas and shrapnel are all applied after you make an injury roll, not before. All right, good. I'm glad they clarified on that because that was weird. Fire team. This is a new Antioch thing specifically. It's really long. It's just to say that 2 models can activate with each other simultaneously. Flamethrowers automatically hit if they're in range. Do not make an attack roll and just roll on the injury chart. Yeah, same thing as fire. Golem. Okay. This is a semi-new keyword. I know this got introduced because of the what's it called? It's called like the something scribe. Regardless. A model with this keyword treats out of action rolls from the injury table as a down unless the results came from a bloodbath roll. I'm pretty sure the only thing that has this keyword is the Scripture Guardian. Oh yeah, and this model negates or has negate fear and negate gas because it's a golem. It doesn't need to breathe. Heavy cannot be equipped with more than 1 piece of heavy gear. Is the exact same thing. In addition, you can't use this unless you have a rule specifically saying that you can use this. Held. A piece of battle kit requires 1 hand to carry and cannot be put down. Interesting. When you cannot equip 2-handed weapons on something that, as long as one of the items is a held keyword. Okay. Ignore armor. You just ignore the armor characteristic. Ignore modifier effect, like ignore cover. Gotcha. Impervious. The ignore armor effect does not apply to a target that has this keyword. Oh shit. Okay, that's a nerf to like literally the most powerful units in the game. I don't know what has impervious. It might just be a campaign thing, but we'll check that in a second. That's kind of interesting. Infection markers is a black grail thing. Nobody plays black grail because they're yucky. Infiltrator is the exact same thing. You have to deploy 8 inches away from the closest enemy, and you can only deploy after everything else has deployed without the infiltrate keyword. Leader, +1. Ooh, +1 dice to morale checks. If at least 1 model in the battlefield is not downed or out of action. Keeping your leader alive actually means something. Cool. Hello, Dodo. I'm reading Trench Crusade rules. Negate keyword, like negate shrapnel. Okay. Pilgrim is keyword. Pistol. A weapon can be this, but a pistol can be used as. I'm all right. 1.0 on Trench Crusade is finally out, and I'm reading through it to see what's different. There's a few things that are different, but so far it's basically just a giant clarification on rules, which is really appreciated. I just wish they didn't do a whole countdown for this. If it was just like it is a big update to be fair, but it's still an update. They changed morale, AJ. Now it's if you fail, your entire army has risky on all their actions, and if you fail again, then you lose. So it's not as crippling, but you have to succeed at least one time. Here you go. A pistol can be used as a melee weapon or a ranged weapon and can be used as both in the same activation. When it is used as a ranged weapon, use the range characteristic. When it's used as a melee weapon, using you use your melee characteristic when shooting your pistol in melee or as a melee weapon. That's kind of cool, I guess. Pistols aren't really good, but this does kind of make the Red Brigade double automatic pistol lieutenant kind of fucking nutty, actually. Because he'll just get 4 attacks in ranged and then 4 attacks in melee. That's kind of nutty. And it can be used as an offhand weapon. Oh yeah, so you could literally just dump 8 rounds into a single person if you wanted to. Charging into somebody and dual-wielding automatic pistols is just some insane shit. I really hope Red Brigade gets updated for that, because that'd be so fucking cool. Reload, this is new. If a model makes an attack with a weapon that has this keyword, then its activation ends after the action that allowed the attack to complete. This is on stuff like automatic weapons and what is it called? Machine guns. So it's basically just a way to say, like, yeah, when you're shooting, you're done. That's your whole action, or that's your whole turn. You can do any action in any order, but as soon as you use a weapon with a reload on it and you're done shooting it, your action ends. Risky is the exact same. If you fail the test, you end your activation. Scatter. Some weapons with the blast keyword also have the scatter keyword. Here we go. If the roll was a failure, the target point will scatter instead of missing. To see the scatter, subtract the roll from 7. If the roll was 4, then you are left with a difference of 3, and it moves 3 inches in a direction chosen by your opponent, which is always the funny thing. You don't use scatter dice in this game. Your opponent can just fuck you over. It's so good. I love it. Here we go. Shotgun actually has its own keyword. Add -1 injury dice for attacks made at long range with a weapon that has this keyword instead of the usual long range modifier of -1 dice. So just -1 to injury rather than -1 to hit. I feel like that's better, because you can find ways to mitigate -1 injury dice, especially blood markers. So I feel like shotguns got buffed. I know the heavy shotgun doesn't have the shotgun keyword, which is kind of funny, but I don't know. It's also kind of odd. Shrapnel, same thing as gas and flames. Get an extra blood marker. Skirmisher, Skirmisher has not been changed. It's still move D3 if somebody declares a charge on you and you're not in combat. Okay. The mod is here. Oh god, thank you, Lost. I appreciate it. I like how it's orange because I don't... Wait, is the staff color orange or is it yellow? I don't remember. I think it's yellow. I might be wrong. Strong is still, you can carry heavy weapons and you can use a two-handed weapon as a one-handed weapon, but it still does not allow you to carry two-handed weapons as one-handed weapons, which I would love to be able to do wield tank splitters on my lieutenant for Prussians. I know why they won't let me, but I would like that. Stuff is the exact same. If you're taken out of action, you go down instead the first time. And that's all the keywords. The terrain is... Yeah, here we go. There's a whole list of terrain, but we're not going to read that because nobody gives a fuck about terrain. Area terrain, hills, linear terrain. trench sections, which I have a lot of trenches, ruins, rivers and streams. Hey man, came to say I love your videos and keep it up. Have a wonderful stream. Good night. See you, Abe. Thank you. I appreciate it. Unique terrain pieces. Bunch of random shit. Yeah, and then there's like 3 types of terrain layouts, which is no man's land, which has trenches, ruined buildings, hills, so on. Decimated ruins, which is like a destroyed city, and trench lines, which is all trenches, which is what I have right now in real life. Battle kits. I believe this is just basically saying what somebody has in their armory. Real trench hours, hell yeah. So far 1.0 isn't too different. There's just a lot of clarifications. Here we go. It's just a bunch of the weapons and shit. Yeah, here we go. Automatic pistol has assault and automatic too, so you can literally dual wield them, fire 4 shots, go in melee, and fire 4 more shots because you can use it as a melee weapon, which is kind of fucking funny. Automatic rifle has automatic 2. Oh, it has a specific rule: focus fire. You have to attack the same model twice. You cannot shoot into 2 different models, unlike the pistol, which can shoot into 2 different models. Interesting. Automatic shotgun, +1 dice. Blunderbuss. So what did they switch up, and why is your army obsolete? I can't tell if that second part is a joke or if I said something. They haven't switched much up. It's just a lot of clarifications. There's a few new keywords. That's about it. They did make it so like anti-material rifles have the ignore armor keyword. There's a new keyword called impervious, which ignores the ignore armor keyword. And I really want to see what's impervious because it just like makes stuff like this not matter, which is hilarious. Flamethrower, ignores armor, grenade launchers, blast 3. I feel like it was blast 2 earlier, but I might be wrong. In a Discord, you were being a drama queen and say your army is obsolete. I'm pretty sure that was not Apo. It was somebody who was saying, what was it? Someone said Heretic Naval Raiding Party got no changes or they got nerfed. And I told them that you can take 2 Anointed now, which is pretty fucking nutty because they get bonuses to dash. So they could just charge up across the board and beat the shit out of people. Trench Ghosts got a side grade. Basically, they got like 1 buff and that was about it. They also seemingly lowered the points for battles. It now seems to be, instead of 900 ducats and 8 glory, it seems to be 700 ducats and 6 glory. So games are going to be more smaller. The heavy shotgun, add +2 injury dice for rolls at short range, so on and so forth. Yeah, and it does not have the heavy keyword or the shotgun keyword. Does the automatic shotgun have the shotgun keyword? Yes, it does. Strange. Which is kind of funny because for the heavy shotgun, you're not suffering -1 injury dice at long range, but you are suffering -1 dice at long range, or -1 hit dice at long range. Yeah, here we go. The machine gun has the loaded keyword. Nothing else is interesting so far. If you have trenches IRL, how many water mines did you hit digging it? You're very funny, Kyle. You can't hear it, but I'm laughing on the inside. I got a message real quick. meant water lines. You're very funny. I'm talking about a game board, not actual trenches. Sniper rifle, still the same thing, but it's just a different name. Bullseye. You ignore armor on a critical success, which is pretty cool. And it has the critical keyword. Nice. Silence. Add +1. Oh, what the hell? Add +1 injury dice if the attacker is in contact with the terrain piece that is at least half an inch tall and that lies between the target and the model. So you ignore cover basically when shooting at somebody. Well, small cover. It's so weird. Why is it worded like that? It's so odd. Submachine gun. Same thing. I think its range actually got nerfed. What range is the submachine gun on? Let me go to Raiders. I give them automatic rifles. I forget. Two-handed. Submachine gun is... No, it's 16 inches. It didn't get changed. Oh, do I have the same thing? Oh no, this is warbands. Why is that? Oh, go to... There we go. Submachine gun can take 2 shots during the same activation. As long as submachine gun is used to make both attacks, the attacks can take one after another. Other actions can be taken in between shoot actions. That's interesting. So you can shoot, move, dash, and shoot again. All right. You don't have to do your whole shooting attack in one turn. Or in one go. In case you think you can blink off 2 people, you just need to move. That's interesting. Melee weapons. Anti-tank hammer is still the exact same. +1 injury dice, critical, risky, ignores armor. Place a blood marker if the attack was a success. Bayonet, cumbersome, still the exact same, no bonuses. Knives are still shit, which is funny. Misericordia still ignores armor on downed opponents. Scourge, battle whip, and flail. +1 dice, +1 dice. Keyword does not apply to this weapon when this weapon uses an offhand because it's unwieldy. Swords and axes still critical. Trench clubs are still cheap and useless. Because fucking bayonets exist. Pole arms. Oh, pole arms have the block keyword. Cool. Grenades. I don't know if grenades got changed much. Still 8 inches. Oh, here we go. Ooh, wait, did they change the grenade keyword? I don't know if they did. Let's go to keywords. Grenade. There is no grenade keyword. That's interesting. Huh. Go back to battle kit. I did not know that. Does it say that grenades are treated differently? Because currently right now in game, grenades, here we go. So currently right now in the game, I believe grenades ignore long range penalties. Where are grenades? Grenades. I don't know if it'll say it or not. Here we go. Grenade. Grenades ignore penalties for cover and long range. They do not count to the number of melee weapons. It does not say that here. Form range attacks see the core rules unless stated otherwise. Grenades do not count towards the number of range attacks models have, and models seem to be carrying enough grenades. Oh, here we go. It says ignore long range in the keywords. I'm fucking stupid. So ignore long range and ignore cover on all grenades. Good. It's still a thing, and they're all still assault. So Prussians are still eating good. Incendiary grenades still ignore armor if they roll a crit. Gas dice are still at -1 injury die, or gas weapons are still at -1 injury dice. Trench Crusade rules. They're looking okay. It's pretty much the same thing. Just clarifications. Molotov cocktail. I think this is a Trench Pilgrim one, which is just a shittier incendiary grenade. Satchel charge, my beloved. It got nerfed. Not because it actually got nerfed, but because combat engineers got nerfed, and it's so sad. Shields do not give the block keyword. Interesting. Okay. And then yeah, there's reversed armor -2 injury modifier, standard armor -1 injury modifier, and then there's other types, or there's armor baked into people. Here we go. Armor piercing bullets gain the armor piercing keyword, which means you reduce somebody's armor by 1. So some reinforced armor goes from a -2 injury modifier to just a -1. Shit like that. And it's a consumable, but it stays on the weapon for the entire battle. Binoculars, you cannot place infiltrators within 16 inches of this model unless they are on their own side of the deployment zone. Blessed icon, consumable once during a game, risky action fails, you can use the icon, and your model's activation does not end. Still the exact same thing. Gotcha. Helmet, dum-dum bullets. This is interesting. I believe these are in Ire Rangers. When this battle kit is taken, you must choose one ranged weapon, and that weapon gains the critical keyword. That's not too crazy. Field Shrine. 40 mil base, at least half an inch tall, counts up to 3 models on the battlefield. Up to a maximum of 9 extra models bonus. Which I'm pretty sure you're only able to take one of these, so it's not like you can stack them. Tear it down. Models can attack a field shrine as if it were an enemy model. If this attack was hit by a blast radius, it is removed from the battlefield and crossed off the warband roster. No injury rolls are required. Okay, so you just break these things. That's kind of funny. Gas mask negates gas. Hellbound Soul Contract, which I think is literally just the Infernal brand. When you die, you explode in fire, and you have negate fire keyword. Oh no, negate fire keywords are not affected by this. Oh, it's just the Burst of the Flames one. Never mind. I think about something else. Holy Relic, you get a blessing. You get a blessed dice or whatever it's called. Also, this is a very interesting thing. So incendiary ammo. Let me go to it really quick on heretics, because incendiary ammo currently, as it reads, says it grants the fire keyword to rifle and pistols equipped by this model, or a rifle or a pistol weapon equipped by this model. Now it just flat out says it adds it to any ranged weapon. So you can put incendiary bullets on a machine gun and stack 6 blood markers on somebody if you successfully hit and wound all your shit, and then just bloodbath someone instantly. That's pretty fucking nutty. The problem is that incendiary ammo is only on heretics, but that does make the machine gun actually worth it now. Especially on something like trench ghosts. You could put an incendiary machine gun on a, what's it called? On the heretic on tank palanquin, and just ready up somebody for a bloodbath. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Vice versa, same thing with like armor piercing rounds and dum-dum rounds. Dum-dum rounds I think are less worth it. I think armor piercing is way better. I think just critical is just not a good keyword in general. I feel like critical should have something stacked on top of it rather than just you get a bonus injury dice on a crit, which is, you already get bonus injury dice on a crit anyways, so it just that gives you a second one. Infernal brand just negates fire. Martyrdom pills, -1 injury dice and negate fear because you're taking methamphetamine. Medical kit. You take the treat action. If you do so, it's risky action. Failure, your turn ends immediately, obviously, and if success or critical success, you can remove a blood marker and you can make a friendly model stand up, which I believe negates their what's it called? I believe if you treat somebody, it negates the half movement when they stand back up, I believe. Otherwise there's no point in using this. Mountaineer stuff, +1 dice for climbing, which you're never going to do really. Musical instrument, +1 dice to rolls and gives a bonus, or +1 dice to dash actions for everybody within 4 inches around you. Which I think can Heretic Naval Party take music? Here we go. Yes, they can. So you could have a bunch of Heretic Naval guys all stacked around each other because they get bonus to dash. Put them all around the musicians, so now every time they all dash, they all get +2 dice to dash. So you just have a really strong charge up the board first turn. Shovel, you start in cover at the start of the game until you move, and it can also be used as a melee weapon. Tracer bullets. Who has these? When this battle kit is taken, you choose one ranged weapon. That ranged weapon gains +1 dice keyword. That's pretty good. I don't know what you would feasibly put that on, because the only thing I'm thinking about is like anti-tank rifle, but that would only be good for like the anti-communicant because he only hits on a +1. Interesting. Oh, this is cool. The troop flag, because it has the leader keyword, it does the same thing as having a leader around, which is +1 dice to your morale phase. Unholy trinket, same thing as the holy trinket, or the holy relic. Unholy relic causes fear, and this is all patrons and shit. That does not matter. This is just campaign stuff. Okay, I think that's everything. They're item tables. Okay, now we go ahead and look at the warbands. Give me 1 second. I got another message I have to respond to. All right. First battle of New Antioch. As far as I know, very little changes. They still have fire teams, which is, let's just go ahead and look at my normal New Antioch list, which should be stormtroopers. Nope, it's shock troopers, no stormtroopers. Yeah, you're only able to have 2 fire teams in New Antioch. That's still the exact same fire team, same thing. You do concentrated effort, and blood bath only costs 3 blood. What's it called? 3 blood markers instead of 6 if you're using a fire team to attack somebody. It's pretty neat. Automatic pistols a limit 3? What? What is it right now? Oh, it's still limit 3. Okay. I was gonna say that's weird. 1 automatic rifle. It all looks the same to me. That's what crouches. Yeah, same thing. Limit 3. I feel like binoculars were not elite only. Am I wrong? Nope, they are elite only. Yeah, okay. I'm just wrong. And then nothing else. Mardon pills, my beloved. It's fucking always fun. Here we go. Engineer combat body armor, which I'm pretty sure is the exact same. What am I doing? I should be reading the engineers. Engineer body armor. -2 injury dice. Anything with keyword shrapnel is -1 injury dice as well. Against combat engineers, and do not cause extra blood markers. Yeah, it's the exact same. Heavy ballistic shield acts as cover. Exact same thing. It gives no bonuses to armor, just acts as cover, and can only be used on machine armor. Machine armor is the exact same. D3 bonus charge instead of D6, and -3 injury modifier. And here we go. When a model with machine armor suffers a down result on the injury table, you treat it as a minor wound instead. This is different because right now, heavy mechanized infantry. Where is machine armor? It says the exact same thing. Where, here we go. It says, note that the tough keyword avoids out of action with down overrides this. Which basically meant that tough made the convert downs into, what's it called? Oh god, I can't think. Tough keyword, converting downs into downs out of actions into downs would make the fucking machine armor's ability to turn downs into minor hits would just not work. Now it doesn't say that. So putting machine armor on a lieutenant is now way better because, like, sure, when you go out of action, it still takes away the the tough keyword, but at least you don't go down on the ground anymore. So you can just stand up and just keep beating the shit out of people, which is really funny. Lieutenant is the exact same, +2 dice on everything. Hold your fire, which is force the enemy to activate a model of your choosing in line of sight. Sniper Priest got a buff. Their aim action is now, instead of just rolling a risky action, you now get a +2 dice on the roll, which is pretty fucking neat. And it's still the same effect where you get +2 dice if you succeed, which is funny because then you can have this guy shoot at like +5 dice or something, or yeah, something crazy like that. So he shoots like 7 dice total. It's fucking wild because sniper rifles have like a built-in +1 dice to hit, I think. That being said, I think the play with the sniper priests, because they now get +2 dice to their aim action, I think the play is just giving them machine guns and just letting them rip on people. But who knows? That's just me. Trench clerics still have God is with us, which gives something a blessing marker, or onwards, Christian soldiers negate fear within 8 inches. Yeomen, still the exact same. They have rifles built into their kit. Shock troops, exact same. Roll 3d6 for charge, choose the 2 highest, and ignore heavy for melee weapons, or for 1 melee weapon. Combat engineers, nerfed. They get +1 in melee and no bonus range dice, which sucks because they ignore the heavy keyword for satchel charges. But now, because they don't have bonus range, satchel charges are now just going to miss. So, fuck. They still have Diffuse Mine and Fortify, which you're never really going to use. You used to use these guys to run them up the board and throw satchel charges at people. Now they're just shittier shock troopers because they don't get what's it called? They're, what is it? Shock troopers are 45. These guys are 80. So for 35 more points, you could have a guy who gets reinforced armor but has no bonuses in melee, or you could choose a shock trooper and just give him reinforced armor, which is basically the same cost. Sure. Heavy mechanized infantry are always on 40mm bases no matter what. Thank God they fucking did this. Bonus dice in range, same thing. You could for 10 more points you can give them machine armor, which I believe they can always have machine armor and never counts to the limit. They also can't lose machine armor, which also means it can't be removed if they die. So if you get one of these guys and you put machine armor on them, they're stuck with it forever. So if somebody dies in the campaign with machine armor, you can't get it back. Combat medic, the exact same. Still no bonuses to melee, which is fucking insane, but still. I don't know why. Shouldn't the combat medic have bonuses to melee? Hold on. Combat medic. No, she does not. Wow, that's pretty ass. I don't know why they didn't give her a melee bonus. And how many points is she right now? She's 65, so the exact same. Okay, nothing has changed. Never mind. What else? Oh, I went into the wrong tab. Oh yeah, and then her funny thing, always +1 dice for injury rolls made against things that don't have the black grail or demonic keyword because she knows the human anatomy. It's really fucking cool. I wish she had bonuses to melee. That'd be nice. She feels very much like a campaign model you would take. Also, trench pilgrims can now take combat medics, but they're mercenaries for them. I don't know if that's always been a thing. Oh yay, we get to go to the good shit. All right, we're talking about the warband variants now. Hell yeah. Papal States Intervention Force, which is the sickest fucking name I've ever heard in my entire life. The Papal States, which operate under the command of the Supreme Pontiff of Rome rather than the Duke of New Antioch, are sometimes dispatched to the front lines to perform a specific duty, such as hunting down and eliminating dangerous heretic leaders or recovering artifacts of great spiritual importance. These warbands are typically relatively small, but have access to extremely elite soldiers and specialist equipment. They are led by utterly devoted warrior monks and priests handpicked by the Pope. It's the sickest fucking way you could ever describe a sub faction. They cannot take trench moles, which just means that they don't get yeoman infiltrators, which is fine. Lector, they have to be led by a trench cleric instead of a lieutenant, which kind of sucks because trench clerics do not hit as hard as lieutenants. They only get +1 dice to both categories instead of +2, but they get a rise and be healed, which is a risky action, which does not seem like you get bonus dice for it, which kind of sucks. But on success roll, you pick a friendly model within 3 inches and you remove D3 blood markers or infection markers from a model, and they can stand back up at no cost of their movement. That's pretty fucking cool. It's only 3-inch range though, which is still pretty close, but this is the best thing. So when you start a warband, because it's been changed now, it's in now 700 ducats, which is points, and 6 glory, which is your special points to buy like equipment and mercenaries. For Papal States Intervention Force, you only have 500 ducats instead of 700. However, you get 5 more glory points of 11, so you're able to build tall rather than wide, which is pretty fucking neat. You can also give somebody the Supreme Pontiff's Crucifix, which I believe is just you cannot or risky actions don't end your turn. And then the most important thing, the Swiss Guard. You can choose a lieutenant and up to 4 models to have negate fear. And because you're building these you're building this warband tall and not wide, that might literally be as many models as you have. Because for instance, my Papal States Intervention Force, we'll just go ahead and look at them real quick. Intervention Task Force. It's not that many models, but it's going to be a lot smaller because we don't have as many ducats. Instead of having 700, we only have 500. So it would literally probably just be trench cleric, 3 heavy mechanized infantry, and then mercenaries. And yeah, the trench cleric I believe is only at +1 dice. Yeah, he's only at +1, which kind of sucks, but still, it's kind of neat that you could just have a army of like 4 dudes in machine armor just running up the board and beating ass. I believe that's all they have. Oh no, here we go. Supreme Pontiff Crucifix +1. Yeah. And it's not a consumable. You have it forever. Failing a risky action does not end your turn. And now we have some sick art of them, which look at this fucking guy. Holy fucking shit. I don't think I can. No, I can't. God damn. The fucking, just everything about it. Everything about it looks so, let me just zoom in real quick. Everything about this looks so fucking good. I fucking love the art in this game. Iron Rangers now have piercing bullets, or armor piercing bullets, with a limit of 2, which is honestly not that bad. If I just go ahead and go over to Iron Rangers real quick, because I'm pretty sure armor piercing currently is, I don't think I have an Iron Rangers list, actually. Let's go to Iron Rangers real quick and see what they have. Berserkers, yeah, they don't have armor piercing rounds right now, so they give those 2 of them for 5 ducats each, which is not that bad. It's a pretty good deal, just getting like slapping that on, I don't know, a sniper priest or something, because they can take sniper priests, I believe. I might be wrong. Loose organization, renegade skirmisher, like infantry. Doesn't say there's any limit on sniper priests. So yeah, you can take 2 sniper priests with either machine guns or sniper rifles and give them, I'd say machine guns, and give them both armor piercing bullets and just shred through motherfuckers. -1 on somebody's armor is actually a lot better than I feel like people are gonna think it is, especially for 5 ducats. Like what? That's a damn good deal. I'd take that deal. Berserker, lieutenant, or one of the Fianna and did they mention there's a faction of Jewish Knights? Yeah, the Jewish what is the Hebrew Knights? They're going to be a faction at some point. We don't know when. They just said in the future. Yeah, for 15 ducats, Berserker cannot wear armor. However, they negate fear, and blood markers can never be placed on them under any circumstances. So you can never bloodbath this man. He can never wear armor, but you can never bloodbath this man. He can't have a shield, however, which is pretty funny. The Karniks, same thing, causes fear. Fina, give people infiltrator and skirmishers with seemingly no limit. It's done on shock troopers, though. So you can have infiltrating shock troopers with skirmisher. So you can just get turn 1 charges, technically speaking. Followers of St. Patrick, your patrons say to St. Patrick in campaign. Hit and run tactics, -1 dice to the roll of a melee attack when an Iron Ranger is making a retreat. So when you retreat out of combat, you get an opportunity of attack. When you're attacking an Iron Ranger, it's at -1 dice. Yeah, and here we go. You can only include 1 heavy mechanized infantry model, but have up to 4 combat engineers, and this limit on satchel charges is changed to 4. Which, I don't know why you would do that, but that's pretty funny. You cannot include more than 3 models with a great sword or axe. In addition, heavy mechanized infantry cannot have a great sword or axe, which is such a weird stipulation. I don't know why this is a thing. Man, y'all are quiet tonight. I was gone for like 20 minutes, maybe just because Garg isn't here. Yeah, well, it's also just me talking. I'm just reading rules. The exception of great axes on the infantry. Oh, there's the fucking hunter killer music. Heavy infantry, only heavy infantry can have reinforced armor and machine armor. Basically just like Prussians again, just nobody can be heavily armored. Loose formation. Lieutenant of Iron Rangers replaces their hold your fire ability with skirmisher. Keyword with no change to their ducat cost. Strong in faith, arise be healed. Oh, here we go. Away serpents. This shit's so funny. This shit's fucked up, by the way. So, Away Serpents is a specific ability for trench clerics because of St. Patrick. You take an action, you pick 1 model within 12 inches. God damn it, lost. Thank you. Appreciate it. You roll a action, or what is it? Is it a risky action or is it just normal action? Oh, I think it's just normal. Oh no, it's a risky action. To make whoever you're targeting crawl on their belly like a snake because St. Patrick drove snakes out of Ireland. Add -1 to the to this roll if the model is on a 40mm base or greater. On a failure, nothing happens, but on a success, you down something, which is really fucking funny. My understanding is that down doesn't take away the tough keyword because you have to be taken out of action and then you go down. And then tough goes away, but still, you could just down people for fun. Alba. I don't know if Alba's gotten changed. Bagpipes negate fear within 8 inches. Brave. Add 1. Oh, you get +1 dice to rolls made for morale checks for the entire army. That's pretty cool. Celtic machine armor. You retain the D6 charge bonus instead of D3 on machine armor. That's fucking horrifying. Great swords cost 7 instead of 12. Cold steel. Have the cost of melee weapons for the first time that it's purchased in Alba. I think this is specifically a campaign thing. For example, the first sword or axe purchased for the warband would cost 2 instead of 4. Oh, and they get dum-dum ammunition. It's so weird, but they get 3 of it. So you can get 3 weapons with critical on it. Highland strength. Shock troopers have the strong keyword with no additional cost. And lightly armored. It's so weird how all the fucking boys here are lightly armored. Only lieutenants and heavy mechanized infantry can have reinforced or machine armor. Melee focused. All heavy mechanized infantry get +1 to melee instead of ranged. Rampant charge. You ignore defended obstacles so you can fight in ruins without getting a -dice to hit. Strained supply. Most specialist melee weapons, you only have a limited supply of 1. And then the Locaber axe or Lockbar axe. I don't ooh, they did change it. I don't remember if to Alba. Do Alba and let's go look at the Lockbar axe and see if there's anything different about it. So 15 ducats. 20 now. Currently it does, what does it do? Currently it is a heavy critical weapon with +1 to injury rolls rather than +1 dice, and -1 dice penalty to hit for anybody charging it in combat. So basically it has the block keyword, and currently it has +2 injury dice when you're hitting something, so not just +1 to injury. Block critical, which is the same thing, cumbersome and heavy. So basically the only change you got is that it got bonus or 2 injury dice instead of +1 to your injury roll. That's not too bad. I think plus to or bonuses to injury roll rather than bonus dice is better, but For 5 extra points, you get +2 injury dice. That's not awful. The Prussians, my favorite. These guys are overpowered. They have been nerfed and also buffed at the same time. They can get 3 fire teams instead of 2. They have a special type of trench cleric that can inhale holy smoke. You can get 2 shock troopers with infiltrate for 10 ducats. Only the lieutenant and heavy mechanized infantry can have reinforced or machine armor, which is the same across most of these variant warbands apparently. Light melee. You do not get assault drill on shock troopers, so you're just charging in with knives and shit rather than great swords. Wait, is assault drill? Hold on. There you go. Where is shock trooper? Is assault drill the one where you get bonus dice? No, it's the one where you ignore heavy on an item, so you cannot take heavy melee weapons on shock troopers. However, they do get masters of the grenade. You get 4 extra inches to all grenades. And grenades ignore long range and cover. And all grenades have assault. So just start spamming grenades to do damage to people. Rapid assault. Lieutenant and shock troopers get the rapid assault ability, which is +1 to dash actions for 5 ducats. Specialized equipment. Submachine guns, which you're never going to take because mathematically throwing grenades is better because unless somebody's like wearing a helmet or a gas mask, grenades are always going to get an extra blood marker no matter what. But submachine guns and are increased up to 4. Automatic shotguns and automatic pistols do not have the elite keyword stipulation. However, machine guns are limited to 1, and you cannot have grenade launchers. You must have a minimum of 2 shock troopers, which is the same right now, and you can only have you cannot have more than 1 sniper priest or 1 heavy mechanized infantry model, and you cannot have trench moles. However, you get the tank splitter sword, the anti-tank sword. It is so it's basically the exact same thing except for one ruling. It is a 2-handed melee weapon, cumbersome, critical, +1 injury dice. When you make an injury roll for this weapon, before you roll any dice for the injury roll, you can set 1 aside as a 6. The stipulation for this is that it used to be against anybody wearing armor. Now it just happens all the time because you're using a fucking explosive reactive armor sword. Oh, buddy, I can't remember. Has your funny trench boy army grown any? I have models. I don't have them with me right now. They're in a box somewhere, but yeah, I printed some stuff up. Played a game not too long ago. Holy smoke, this is the funniest shit. So let me just go ahead and read this. It made of a mixture of frankincense, agarwood, and secret chemicals from the Mendelist order. This burned incense is inhaled by Prussian trench clerics before battle. It is highly addictive, but grants great physical and mental resilience. The Prussians are blazing it for God. Yo, what I missed? Nothing. I'm just reading the 1.0 rules of Trench Crusade and just going through the armies I play. I want to see what's changed. This is that shit that killed Abel. This is that shit that put Jesus on the cross. Literally what it is. It is called holy smoke. These guys are smoking fucking the Pope's doobies. It is the funniest shit. This weekend I'm going home and cranking out a ton of models, the style of playing of Broken Tower. Hell yeah, brother. But holy smoke, right now what it does is that it's basically the same as Smoke of that burning bush. It's basically the exact same as martyrdom pills. However, these stack with this stacks with martyrdom pills, so you can have a trench cleric getting high off of the strain that made Lucifer fall from heaven while also popping methamphetamine, and you're just at permanent -2 injury dice and you ain't scared of shit. It is the funniest fucking thing. Homemade Eversor. That's actually so good. I love smoking that shit for the Lord. It's so fucking wild. Because it stacks. It doesn't say it doesn't stack. It stacks. I'm God's strongest warrior. That's literally what it is. It's so funny. And it's only 15 ducats. I don't believe there's anything that says that that they don't get access to what's it called? Yeah, there's nothing in the rules that say they don't get martyrdom pills. So yeah, you can stack holy smoke and martyrdom pills on a fucking trench cleric and have him go to town on people. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have tough. He probably won't fucking die. Put him in fucking, I don't know what kind of armor you can put him in, but just put him in some decent armor and just have him charge up the board and fucking murder people. Oh yeah, Expeditionary Force of Abyssinia, which I have not played. Give me stronger battles. They're Christian Ethiopian warriors, if I remember correctly. They can have 2 combat medics with a misericordia each. Cool, I guess. Here we go, Chiwa. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Shock Troopers and models with the elite keyword in the Expeditionary Force of Abyssinia can have the Chiwa ability, which is add +1 dice to the success rolls of a melee attack made by a model if they're within 1 inch of another friendly model, up to a maximum of 2 dice. So basically, you gang up on people and stab them. We should just take New Antioch and make them a new Antioch. You do. I'm just sitting here, your favorite Black Lung recipient. Why did you donate to me, man? Man, this frankincense ain't shit. When you take the holy smoke and the fucking lieutenant starts talking like an Animal Crossing character. Eating more fruit, sorry. I'm about that myrrh, or how the fuck you spell it. I don't know what you're talking about. Chieftain Panoply. Mechanized heavy infantry in the Expeditionary Forces cannot have machine armor. That's so strange. But why? I guess because only the chieftain can have machine armor, I guess is the excuse. Oh yeah. Faith of Ethiopia. The sect of sniper priests does not operate in the Solomonic dynasty, and Expeditionary Forces of Abyssinia cannot include sniper priests. It's so, I don't know why, but they do get a bunch of other shit, so I'm gonna go ahead and just keep reading this. Frankincense and myrrh, hell yeah, thanks dog. He doesn't like it. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. I feel like this is drugs. I don't do any of that stuff. This is some like religious shit I also don't know about because I've been to church only for funerals. Here we go. They have a Rise and Be Healed for trench clerics, which they can get 2 of. Actually, they're called Holy Warriors. And their other thing is Blessed Psalm. You take a Blessed Psalm action. If you do so, you can remove 1 blessed marker from the Holy Warrior and place it besides a model. A success roll is not required to carry out this action. Okay, so you just transfer blessing markers around, I guess. I don't know why. I mean, it's free, I guess. So if you have a blessing on yourself, you could just move it over to somebody. Interesting, I guess. That's why he can't wear armor. He just doesn't like it. So unfortunate. Bro, that's in the Bible. I don't remember, man. Do I look like I read the Bible? I think religion is cool. I'm not gonna read the Bible. I'll just go watch Prince of Egypt for the 50th time. I know why they did it, but I'm just saying, imagine if DreamWorks back in their Prince of Egypt era and Joseph King of Dreams, imagine if they actually made a Jesus fucking movie. Related, do you play Assassins? I do not play Assassins. That being said, I feel like, so I know Assassins got nerfed, I believe. That's what I've been told. I don't know how. I think they need to draw line of sight when doing shit instead of just teleporting around the map. That being said, I think Iron Sultanate lore, specifically the Brotherhood of Assassins and the fucking Castle of Alamut, is the sickest fucking shit. The fact that like they're not even just assassins, they're like reality bending masters of time who live in a fortress that can never be approached and has been under siege for 100 years and has literally starved out armies without taking a single bit of damage. I don't know what you look like, so I don't know if you look like you read the Bible. I look like Lowe's Jesus. I'm not Home Depot Jesus. I'm Lowe's Jesus. I'm a little bit more classy. But short range marksmanship. Add +1 to the success of short range attacks made by the lieutenant and any yeoman, unless that weapon is a grenade or has the heavy keyword. Interesting. It's kind of odd how shock troopers don't get it, but I guess that would just make shock troopers overpowered, huh? Old man don't fuck around. No, the old man in the mountain does not fuck around. They rule so hard. I give my life for all and the old man in the mountain. Dude, so like, I've talked about this before. I think the thing I love about Trench Crusade is that, firstly, it's clearly written by somebody who understands religion like very well. It's not written by someone who's just like, yeah, angels and demons are cool, which is, I think most of us were in that phase when we were younger. If you're into like supernatural or occult shit, it's clearly written by somebody who understood the faith. Like whether or not like you interpret it as one way or another, they at least understand it conceptually, especially Old Testament shit. So all the Christian stuff is fucking awesome. And then you go and you read the fucking lore of like the Islamic factions. I say Islamic factions, but specifically have a good night. I just want to join in BS. And imagine Antonio Banderas with a double chin and boom, it's him. But what is it? The Islamic stuff in this universe is also really well written, to the point where you can give Adeptus ridiculous shit all you want, which is fine because like, yeah, sure, they have fucked up on some episodes. However, when you have a professor of Islamic studies review the Iron Sultanate lore and they come back to you and say, yeah, this shit's good, that's a mark of fucking quality. The fucking the Grandmaster Assassins or whatever the fuck that warband is called, some of the coolest shit in Trench Crusade, which is saying something because we have anti-tank greatswords in this fucking universe. Let me keep reading. Vanguard forces. You cannot include trench moles, but instead 4 yeomen can have the flanking ability, which is instead of being deployed on the deployments normally or in contact with any battlefield edge. Oh, it can be deploying your deployment facility or any compact veiled edge with 8 inches away from the enemy models. Models with this ability are deployed before the infiltrated keyword, but after all of the models. Interesting. So it's basically just like side grade infiltrate in a way. Not really. It is kind of just side grade infiltrate. The Iron Sultanate of the great invincible walls of the 2 horns that pierce the heavens. It's so good. Oh, hey, how the Great Hunger looked? Great Hunger and Red Brigade have not been updated for 1.0 yet, so I don't know. Model wise, they look pretty fucking cool, but I'm also not a Black Rail fan, so don't take my word for it. Weapons of mobile warfare. An expeditionary force of Abyssinian warband can have a maximum of 3 ranged weapons. Okay, with the heavy keyword, not counting satchel charges. Interesting. I'm a fat white boy. I need my faction representation. You then don't play Great Hunger because Great Hunger is all about like emaciated creatures because they're constantly starving. Also, this dude looks fucking yoinked out. Look at his fucking eyeballs, dude. Look at that shit. That's a man who's seen the horrors of the war. Oh, they get a show tool. Critical. The show tool is specifically designed to overcome enemy shields. Ignore minus injury dice and minus injury modifiers for shields against melee weapons made by the show tool. Any other keywords apply? Interesting. When would this ever come up? Minus injury dice and minus... What shields give minus injury dice or injury modifiers? Huh. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. We're seeing the horrors of Mamon firsthand in the savannah. Oh yeah, because these guys are fighting Mamon because Mamon took over like North Africa. Oh, they have more shit. I didn't know that. Oh wow, they have a lot more shit. Holy Water of Lalibela. Sumable limit to 5. Add +1 dice when the model with Holy Water takes a successful roll for an action that can remove blood markers or infection markers. Interesting. So they're all about healing, I'm starting to notice. 6 and Pharaoh Warrior Crowns for Chiwa and elites only. Negate fear and add +1 injury dice to the melee characteristic. Oh shit, these guys are really melee heavy. All right. How about a Holy Warrior, which is a Trench Cleric, limit 1. Virtuous rewards. Place 1 blessing marker next to a model that has a tab out each time an action is carried out by a friendly model. Results in 1 or more blood markers or infection markers being removed. Okay, so the more you heal people, the more you stack blessing markers, and you can dish those blessing markers out to your warband. That's interesting. That's why they have medics then, I guess. Which is weird because you can only put this on a Holy Warrior. But... oh, it just says anytime a friendly model. There's no range to this. This just goes across the battlefield. Interesting. I have no idea the rules are for Trench Crusade. I'm only here for Demon Lore. The rules are not that bad. They're actually pretty simple. Spam by messages, holy shit. A person of taste, I see. Do you want to understand because he says anime is cringe? Anime isn't cringe. There's just a lot of shit anime. Like a lot of shit anime. I love JoJo. That being said, part 6 is awful. I don't care what anybody says. I hate Stone Ocean. I hate Stone Ocean and I hate part 5, Golden Wind. I don't like Giorno. Animation wise and like show wise, it's good. I just don't like Giorno. I don't find Passione interesting. And I especially don't find Jolene's crew interesting. Bro hates women, confirmed. That's crazy. Bro, I'm hating women and I'm hating men. Because there's no girl characters in Passione, I don't think. Oh, there. How is JoJo your bar for anime? Because JoJo is insane. JoJo is insane, but it's not taking itself seriously. Dio, quick, explain how King Crimson works. It's actually really simple to explain how King Crimson works. It's just that people are fucking stupid. Let's go ahead and say you're gonna punch me in the face. You are fated to punch me in the face. You are committed to punching me in the face. In those 5 seconds of time that I activate King Crimson, I can avoid getting punched in the face, but you will continue to carry out the action as if nothing changed. And I can do whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, no. JoJo's good. I'm incredibly excited for part 6. Not part 6. Why I say that? I say, hey, part 6. Part 7. I need Steel Ball Run in my life so badly. I wish we didn't have copyright, because when fucking, what's his name, Poco Loco, or it's Poco Loco, right? When Poco Loco shows up riding on his horse doing his bullshit, I need Hey Ya playing in the background. Not that the thing he did to Bruno was nonsense. What specifically? Because there was a lot of nonsense that happened in that little bit. That being said, the way they show off King Crimson, like visually, is some of the sickest shit I've ever seen. Like, I thought Bites the Dust and just like Killer Queen and everything was fucking awesome. And then we hit like the King Crimson fucking space realm. Because like people have struggled so hard to try and show off how King Crimson works. There was a fighting game a long time ago that tried to show how King Crimson worked, and like they kept changing how it looked. And I really love how part 5 shows it off. The way he killed Bruno by erasing his future. I don't remember much from part 5, so I don't remember specifics. However, I will believe you. Anyways, that's all the boys here. Trench Pilgrims. I don't know much about Trench Pilgrims, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try to blitz through this. What I want to know is, do they still have Martyr Penitence, or did they get rid of those? Oh shit, here we go. Holy Icon Shield, elite only. To glory. This is what I was talking about. Impervious. This means you ignore fucking ignore armor. So a holy icon shield could just tank a fucking anti-tank rifle. Dio, have you watched Attack on Titan? I watched the first season. Attack on Titan is the biggest amount of dog shit I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking hate Attack on Titan. I think it's stupid. I had a very long conversation with my friends about why I think Attack on Titan is shit. And as they explained the story to me, I think it became even more shit. You can like Attack on Titan, that's fine. You can like whatever you like. I just think it's shit. Iron Capirote, still the same thing. Negates fear, negates shrapnel. Ignore armor, you say. Yeah, there's anti-tank rifles that just ignore armor modifiers. However, they just added impervious, which ignores armor. So you're literally holding up a shield with the fucking visage of Christ, and it just tanks the fucking 30mm shell. This setting is so fucking cool. It costs glory, sure, but still, for 2 glory and there's no limit, you can put this on a fucking war prophet and just tank anti-tank rounds. It's fucking awesome. And it's a shield, so it can be used in addition to armor. So you can have a dude running around in trench pilgrims with because they can still take reinforced armor, I believe. You can have a dude running around trench pilgrims with reinforced armor, so he has -2, and then a shield which makes him -3, and he ignores armor. So you literally just have a walking tank that virtually cannot be killed. It's very fucking cool. I'm hitting the bottom of my fruit bowl where all the fruit is just bad. Got a message I got, hold on. Here we go. Unkillable war prophet EV. Not unkillable, just very hard to kill. If you can, I don't remember if you can stack martyrdom pills. Do you get martyrdom pills? You get martyrdom pills. Okay, never mind. You're unkillable. Yeah, you do get martyrdom pills. Oh, you get incendiary ammo in Trench Pilgrims. I didn't know that. Do you have machine guns in Trench Pilgrims or no? You do, which is funny because you can stack it on this now, which is amazing. I have no idea what I would run in Trench Crusade. What do you like playing on tabletops? Like what? Do you want to shoot people? Do you want to do melee? Do you want to be an asshole? If none of it draws you in, you don't need to play it. No one's requiring you to play Trench Crusade. Punt gun, which acts like a shotgun currently, and overcharge, which gives it blast 3 and the reload keyword. So after you shoot it, you're done. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't seem that crazy. Have fun. If you want to have fun, play Heretic Legion because they're like so basic and well-rounded, but they also get access to like 3 monsters, which is I'll show you that in a bit when we get to it. But Warcross, which is literally just a cross that's sharpened. It's the fucking Castlevania like cross ninja stars. Yeah, nothing here has changed. Yeah, War Prophets don't have tough, but they just have Memento Mori, which is basically tough, except you don't get down, you just stand right back up. Where's fucking... Oh, we're in Elites right now. The Communicant has seemingly not changed. Yeah. Castigator, has he changed? Let's just roll it through. So really stand back up and no cost to the movement. Wait, hold on. Take a risky action and add +1 dice. Success. All friendly models that are within 8 inches of the castigator that are downed immediately stand back up. Oh, interesting. Huh. That's kind of horrifying. Zealot Strength can give him the strong keyword and Whip of God, which I'm pretty sure is Whip a man and give them bonus dice or something like that. Here you go. Trench Pilgrims, Martyr Penitence. Which they're just your normal shitty men. Oh god, yeah, I found trench maids. Of course you did. Why do you keep finding maids for shit? I mean, that being said, I have an artillery witch who's wearing like a wedding dress, so I can't really complain much. For 45, which I'm pretty sure is 45 flat and not 45 added to the 30, you get resurrected trench pilgrims with -1 injury dice on them. Pretty neat. Actually, this seems like it's just like, oh no, this is a campaign specific thing. You can't do Martyr Penitence in one-off battles. Granted, I'm pretty sure the entirety of Trench Crusade is not built for one-off battles anymore, especially this rulebook. It's built for campaign. So you'd be playing campaign if you were doing this, which is why like a majority of these rules only work in campaign. Oh no, here we go. Oh no, here. Oh, up to 1 Trench Pilgrim or Martyr Penitent can have Zealous Strength. Interesting. Never mind. Stigmatic Nuns, which that's blood boob. I'm not gonna scroll down yet. Bonus dice to melee and ranged, +1 dice to jumps, jump down, dive attack, dive charge, climbing, and dash actions. Anytime you get a blood marker before you carry out an action, you turn into a blessing marker, and that's it. Ecclesiastic prisoners. I believe the martyrdom device is still the exact same, but I will keep reading. The martyrdom device is fucking insane. I wasn't intending to. Yeah, I don't believe you. You can have up to 4 prisoners with the martyrdom device. Thank God there's a limit on this. They cannot have their own battle kit awaited. An ecclesiastic prisoner is taken out of action with the martyrdom device. Its trigger does not count towards units for morale checks. Mad dash +1 to dash action. Quick rundown. What is campaign? A bunch of battles in a row. Campaign, yeah, campaign is like a Crusade for Warhammer. It's a bunch of battles in a row, and there's like a whole there's a whole like looting phase and like exploration phase that you do on paper to like try and find like campaign specific items and a bunch of other crazy shit and a bunch of other events and stuff. It's kind of neat. It also leaves a lot of room for homebrew if you want to do like a long ass campaign format. That being said, it'd be cool if this game was like war game sized and not skirmish sized, but I think they said they have future plans for that, but they're not betting on it. Ecclesiastic prisoner takes trigger the device action if they do so. On a success, when it detonates, you make an injury roll for all models within 3 inches of the prisoner. You make an injury roll for the ecclesiastic prisoner by rolling 4d6 and adding all 4 together, and add +1 dice to the injury roll for all other models within 1 inch of the ecclesiastic prisoner. The ecclesiastic prisoner detonates his martyrdom. Okay, so when Ruben used this, Ruben used it completely wrong, so fuck Ruben. You just get +1 injury dice on everybody else, not 46 injury dice on everybody. Anchorite Shrine. No new keywords. Still has tough though. Breaking on the wheel. I don't know if that's been changed. Sacrifice a Trench Pilgrim. And the Trench Pilgrim has to suffer an out of action test. He does not have negate shrapnel or the tough keyword, and has no armor. It treats down as a minor hit result. You can just keep stacking blood markers on the man. And the first time the Anchorite suffers a out of action test, it is treated as no effect, and you lose the any blood markers on the Anchorite Shrine are removed, and from then on the special rules no longer applies. There's really no reason to not break somebody on the wheel every time. You just basically just get an extra life. You get tough in it. You basically have tough in addition to tough. Symphony of Slaughter. I think this just means like, yeah, both weapons are risky actions, and you can attack with them simultaneously. Yes. And the Catherine wheel specifically, you roll 3d6 and add them together when you beat somebody up. Mechanically speaking, what happens when you pull an old school crucifix up on a motherfucker? And like in game or in real life? I'm gonna be real, I do not know much about oh shit. Holy icons cost 20 ducats and not glory in Sacred Affliction. Or holy icon shields. And there's oh, and do not have elite only restrictions. Oh god. It's still 20 ducats, but you could just put fucking in game. Well, in game, it does having a crucifix on your person does different things depending on what it is, like holy icon, or if you take a risky action and you fail, you don't end your turn. That's foul. Holy shit. The tank hammers are not elite only in this warband. Base that figures cannot have iron capirote, and so forth. Yeah, holy icon armor. So you have holy icon shields and holy icon armor, and the holy icon armor, it's 30 ducats for -1 injury. Yeah, I know this is the one you used, but I don't think you had a holy icon armor. I don't think this wasn't a thing until now. But they have the holy icon shields and the holy icon armor. The shields are limited, I believe. I might be wrong. Let me go to Judge Pilgrims again real quick. Holy icon. Oh, they're not limited. It's just that they're normally for elite only, but why is it not letting me select? Why is it not letting me select things? Yeah, that's interesting. All right. Kind of funny. War Pilgrimage of Saint Methodius, which is the anchorite one specifically. I think you're able to get like 2 anchorite shrines, and you can put a bunch of heavy weapons on anchorites. Yeah, here they are. Look, you just get all these heavy weapons for fucking anchorites, which is funny. Auto cannon, +1 injury dice, automatic 3, heavy. Does not have reload, so this is actually pretty nutty. It's basically just a better machine gun. Oh, that's burst. Oh, full auto. Automatic 5? You get 5 attacks with this thing? It's a risky action, but still, that's crazy. Gas filters, gas sensor. The melee weapon, which has range, or no, it's two-handed, which is range still. What? That's so funny. Grand Anchorite, 15, limit 1. Enemies are not allowed to make a melee attack when a Grand Anchorite is within 1 inch of them. Retreats. Oh, cool. So you can just fall back and not take damage or not get hit as a Grand Anchorite. Hallowed Anchorite. Hallowed Anchorites are promoted to elite status in promotions and steps. This is a campaign specific thing. The Holy Diesel Engine. You can take a dash action at +2 dice. If you do so, you must place 1 blood marker next to the model. Piston legs, you can grind to dust. If you do so, target 1 enemy unit that is downed and is mounted on a base that's 3 model. The attack does not use a melee weapon. Oh, so it's just an attack. It's just a free attack on somebody. If they're down, you just step on them. Sacred Geometry, +1 dice to range characteristics, limit 1. Okay. Trench Mortar. Not too crazy. It has Scatter, Heavy, Blast 3, +1 injury dice, and Ignorance Cover, and it cannot be used under 6 inches. Wrathful Cherub Face. I think it's just animals that do not have the keyword and start within oh, so basically if you don't cause fear, you're take a retreat action. Interesting. Cavalcade of the 10th Plague. Castigators get tough. Ooh, interesting. The War Prophet replaces Lying Hands with Day of His Wrath, which is roll a risky action with no bonus dice. If the roll is a success, make an injury chart with the ignore armor. Wait, what? Hold on. Make an injury with the ignore armor keyword for one enemy model. I thought you did it to a friendly for a second. One enemy model within 3 inches of the War Prophet. If the roll is a success, critical success, the injury is a +1 injury dice. So it's basically just a free melee action, and it can ignore armor if you succeed. Interesting. It's just like fucking like burning hands or burning grass, whatever the fuck it's called from D&D, I guess. Favor of the Lord. At the start of each turn, you place one blessing marker next to a model from this warband. Interesting. Heaven awaits. The cavalcade rejects the doctrine of the Metachrist. You cannot have martyr penitence. Stolen communication or stolen communicants. Communicants cost 3 glory to recruit to the cavalcade because they're not supposed to have them. The unclean. The cavalcade detests the unclean ecclesiastic prisoners. A cavalcade of the 10th plague can only have 1 to 2 ecclesiastic prisoners. Sacrificial lamb consumable. When you deploy a model with sacrificial lamb, you can say that they will sacrifice it and anoint themselves in the blood. Do so, the first blood marker placed on this model is ignored. I guess. Ecclesiastic prisoners cannot have a sacrificial lamb. It's so funny. Oh, Jesus. Look at that fucking... Oh, my God. And then Iron Sultanate. Iron Sultanate is the best ranged faction in the game. Hands down. They have a bunch of shit. I'm going to go grab food really quick because food is done being cooked. I will be back. I have returned. I have soup. Damn, the chat is dead. Only saying shed a little bit. Only Robbie's saying shed. I'm just gonna go ahead and blitz through Iron Sultanate. Well, I think they're cool. I don't know much about them. I want to go ahead and see, because they don't have any rules, like specific rules at least. So I want to go look at the. You know, it's funny. You're supposed to be able to click on these, but I think I'm using this in Opera GX, which is a really shitty PDF viewer, so it's not really working. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll down to the only guys I care about, which is. Oh wait, they actually buffed the Yubazi captain. They actually made him do stuff. +2 dice on both stats. I think he goes to Yote. I'm listening though. Okay, well that's fine. You can do what you want. It's okay. What is it? He has a strong keyword. Or you can make him a Janissary veteran with a strong keyword and the Janissary countercharge ability at a cost of 10 points. And the countercharge ability for Janissary veterans is if the first action a captain makes during their activation is a charge, add +1 dice to melee attacks made by the captain for the rest of the activation. He also gets this word I'm not going to be able to fucking pronounce. The captain is expected to face the mightiest of their enemies in personal combat, inspiring the troops to victory and their personal prowess. Add +1 injury dice for anything you attack with a tough keyword. Interesting. It's actually pretty fucking good. The Alchemist is a bunch of shit. Here we go. Assassin. This is the one that fucking matters. +1 dice to range, which is funny, and then +2 dice for melee. Honey, where's my super soup? It's right here. It's a bunch of vegetables with shrimp and chicken stock. Temporal Assassin. After determining the charge bonus for this assassin that has already not carried out a fight action, its activation, you can say the assassin will split itself through time. If you do so, choose 2 different enemy models within reach of the assassin with its charge, and move the assassin within 1 inch of one of those models that you picked as normal, and then make a melee attack with the model as the target itself. After resolving the attack, you can immediately redeploy the assassin to within 1 inch of the other model that you picked, and then make a second melee attack. So you can literally just teleport behind people and start fucking stabbing. And you can do it up to 2 models. The assassin must use the same melee weapon for both attacks and cannot take a fight action later in the same activation. So it's basically just charge and a fight all together, but you get to attack 2 people. I don't know how this works with multi-attack though. I don't believe it works with multi-attack, but I think assassins also have their own daggers. I don't know if it's shown off anywhere. Giselle, Red Bomber, Giselle, Albert Gun, Flame Cannon, Cloak of Alamut. Assassin's Daggers, here we go. What do they do? +1 injury modifier, critical, and Assassin's Blade. If the Assassin's Blade causes at least 1 blood marker, put it next to the model. The assassin can take the retreat action during the same activation, and enemy models cannot make, within 1 inch, cannot make a melee attack against it before it does so. So yeah, okay, so you just be able to stab 2 people and dip out of melee. Time slip. If your opponent fails their successful rolls for attacking an assassin, you can say the assassin will slip in a moment in the future. If you do so, redeploy them within 6 inches of their location, more than 1 inch away from any enemy models. Note that the assassin starts within 1 inch of a model. This is not treated as a retreat. So you're able to teleport away from people and charge again. That's so weird. It's so wild. And they only... ASAPs are pretty fucking funny. It's funny how they have -1 dice to melee. It's because they're supposed to be good at range, but still. But they have that. Oh yeah, the Lines of Jabir. Get 2 of them. Where is it? Pin. Enemy models that are down and are mounted on 40mm base or less are not allowed to stand up if a line of Jabirs with 1 inch of them. Even if the line of Jabir is down, because you're just fucking holding them down and beating the shit out of them. Janissaries get bonuses to both dice. Countercharge. The Brazen Bowl. The same thing, he's able to stomp on things, except he gets the ignore armor keyword when he does it. Interesting. And then -1 injury dice to all injury rolls made against the Brazen Bull because he's an artificial creation. Strange how he's +2 melee, but he's very clearly shown using a flame cannon. Here we go, the Cabal of Assassins. What does this do specifically? You cannot take captains, alchemists, janissaries, lines of the Jabir, or brazen bulls. Each assassin, each Sultan assassin and master assassin in a free die. Ooh, I've been told these guys got nerfed. Of the Alma Warband have one of the following abilities in addition to its cost. You cannot give the same ability to more than one model, i.e. every assassin that has to have a different ability from each other. Hallucinogen Disguise. If the assassin is deployed using the infiltrator keyword, it must deploy 8 inches. And can be deployed in line of sight of enemy models, enemy dogs. Oh, enemy guard dogs do not have an effect on how it's deployed and so on. So you just ignore like binoculars and shit. Mirage of Time. -1 dice to attacks made against the assassin. Secret paths. At the start of the game before deployment, you can say the assassin is using a secret path. If you do so, the assassin is not deployed at the start of the game and cannot be activated in the first turn of the game. Starting in the second turn, you can activate the assassin using secret paths. To do so, you deploy the assassin in contact with any edge of the battlefield and more than 8 inches away from enemy units. And then you carry out the rest of the activation as normal. Thunderbolts of Alamut. Add 2 inches to the assassin's movement characteristic and +1 dice for dashing. Up to 3 AZ models can have the infiltrator keyword. Dervishes, which is a specific weapon, I believe. Or was it? Dervishes. The Dervishes use Janissary's Warband entry, cannot wear reinforced armor, and replace a strong keyword with ignore offhand weapon or ignore offhand weapon keyword. And the Whirling Dervishes ability, which is -1 dice for range attacks against them. Oh, you just get to be whirly dirlies. Good. Flock of Assassins, via die of Alamut can include 2 Sultan Assassins and 1 Master Assassin, see below. Killing squads, you can include 1 fire team consisting of 2 models in the warband, which I'm assuming you would just choose an assassin or a Master Assassin. A Master Assassin is a Sultan Assassin, except it has tough keyword, and it costs 95 ducats. Here we go, the Bowl of Alamut, Sultan Assassin and Master Assassin only. It is a 40-inch range 2-handed weapon, critical, ignore armor. If a ranged attack is made with this weapon, causes any blood markers to be placed on the target model, you can immediately redeploy the attacking model within 1 inch of the target model, regardless of the distance or intervening obstacles. Note that if this action takes a model out of action, no blood markers are placed, and this ability cannot be used. So you literally just shoot an arrow and teleport on people. The Golden Kanjar 2 only, 1-handed melee attacks +1 modify. It's basically souped up assassin daggers, I believe. Oh, here we go. You can make 2 melee attacks with this weapon, one after another. When it is used as a melee weapon, the comprehensive rules of reduce movement. If you spend blood markers to modify an injury roll of the attack, they do not modify injury rolls for any subsequent attack. Interesting. It was basically just like an automatic 2 on a fucking dagger. Which means you could also use this with the assassins teleporting around and stabbing multiple people, so you can get up to 4 attacks. The Assassin Leaf, consumable. When you deploy an assassin, if it consumes the leaf, they have the strong keyword. And that's pretty much the only thing about assassins I care about. The House of Wisdom is interesting. It's just super fucking long, and I'm not particularly interested in them. Heretic Legions, though. I'm going to eat some of my soup before I read this. Just enjoy that art. I'm not gonna lie, the soup is not my favorite. God, how are you gonna fuck up the Heretic Priest this badly? Look at this man. He used to look so fucking cool in the art, and now he just has this flat forehead. Here we go. Heretic Legionaries, as far as I know, have not been changed much. Blasphemous Staff is the exact same. It's a melee weapon with fire keyword, cost glory for some reason. +1 for rolling on anything that isn't dashed or attacks. So it basically just means +1 dice for casting spells. Hellblade is still the exact same. +1 injury dice and fire keyword. Sacrificial Blade is still the same, +2 injury dice modifier. And Risky? Shramp. Scrimps, as some might say. Tartarus Claws are different. Hold on. I thought it would, so yeah, you can make 2 attacks with it, and you do not suffer offhand weapon attack. If the target is taken down, you can move 3 inches into combat. It used to be 6, right? Let me look at Deadman. I have a Death Commando in here with the Tartarus Claws. Yeah, it used to be 6 inches, now they made it 3. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, that's kind of cringe. It got nerfed a little bit. It has critical though. Did it have critical before? Tartarus Claws. It did not, which doesn't really matter, but still, I guess that's interesting. Bro, where are the Tormentor's chains? What the fuck? Did they take them out of the game? Wait, hold on. Where are the Tormentor's chains? My Tormentor's chains are gone. Where have they gone? Ranged weapons, Tormentor's chains, 3 glory. They are just not here. That is cringe. Tormentor's chains were basically scorpions. Fucking get over here. I believe Heretic Priest is the exact same. Yeah, Puppet Master. Move a model, take control of a model and move them D6. Death Commando, exact same. Oh, here we go. They can have the Tormentor's chains. Okay, thank God. They're just not listed in the table for some reason. Chorister is still -1 dice for rolls around them unless you're playing the Banshee specifically. Are they still +2 melee? They are. Troopers, the wording on Legionaries is better. Now it's just you cannot have more troopers than, or you cannot have more Legionaries than troopers. But it. Werewolf Assault Beast got nerfed, not by anything intense. He got boosted up by 20 points, I think it was. Let me go to my normal Heretic Warband. Rough Riders. Werewolf Assault Beast is 140. Really? 140? I thought it was more. He's 5 more points, and they nerfed him in a big way. I can't remember how. He has Risky on both his actions. He gets +1 to dash. Oh, he used to get +2. Now he doesn't anymore. Ooh, that's kind of sucks, actually. Werewolf is armed with 2 weapons, and they're both risky. Other than that, he's the same. He's still -3 armor, which is fucking nutty. Wretched are the exact same. Anointed are the exact same. Artillery Witch got nerfed, I believe. You may include 2 Artillery Witches if the total cost of the models in the warband adds up to 1,000 or more. Okay, so that's how you got 2 of them. And where's the bomb? There it is, Infernal Bomb. Oh, jeez, this is long now. Duck. Add -1 injury dice to the roll for a model if it is hit by an infernal bomb and is in contact with a piece of terrain that is half an inch tall and it lies between them and the target point. Okay, so bomb got nerfed because it used to just ignore long range and cover fully, but now you can duck behind cover. Interesting. Infernal Strike. When you make a injury roll for the bomb, scatter dice and the target point on the model space, roll 3d6 and outfill 3 dice together. Any plus or minus injury dice are applied to the injury normal. You pick the 3 highest instead of 3 lowest. So if you get direct hit by a bomb, it's still 3d6 dice added up. Mighty Explosion. If a model has been hit but not taken out of action, they get blown away d3, and the same thing. Okay, so they just added the duck ability, which sucks if you're running Knights of Avarice, because now you have a gas bomb. And because it's a gas bomb, it would be -2 injury dice. That kind of sucks. Oof. I believe Artillery Witch still doesn't have any bonuses to ranged. No. They're levitating. Are they always considered? No, they're not. And it is a reload attack. So once you attack with the bomb, your turn ends and you cannot do anything else, including move. Rough. Trench Ghosts. Barbed Wire Banshee. Same thing. Replaces Unholy Hymns with +1 injury dice for anybody who's within 8 inches. Enemies of all cannot have mercenaries. Lost Souls. Cannot include anything with artificial keywords. And you cannot have anything involving like Hellbound contracts or Infernal brands. Anointed Heavy Infantry do not have their Infernal brand, and they still cost 95. Semi-Corporeal, -1 injury dice. I kind of want a vampire faction, but I guess it's unlikely, or Cult of Metamorphosis. So there's the fucking Order of the Dragon in lore, which I don't, hold on. I don't know if there's art of them. Sacred Order of the Dragon, who are aligned with peace. I don't remember if this art is specifically the Order of the Dragon or not. I don't remember. I think this is supposed to be a heretic thing. That being said, let me go to the Trench Crusade digital rules. Here we go. I need to find it. Yeah, it's somewhere around here in the lore. It's so fucking good. Oh, here we go. In 1573, the Sacred Order of the Dragon halts the infernal advance towards the destructions of Byzantium. Word spreads of 1 million heretics impaled in the hills of Wallachia. So yeah, Vlad was getting shit done, and I believe he is a vampire in the setting. I can't remember, but they're fucking vampires that fight for Christ. Possibly, we don't know. I don't know if they're getting warband, but you know, nobody said they weren't getting a warband. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the biggest nerf to Trench Ghosts. So you get half movement when dashing, and also you're -1 to dice to dash. So you're incredibly fucking slow. So Trench Ghosts, it used to be you were -1 to dash, then they made it that you only dash half distance. Now they made it so that it's both. And we still don't have battlefield looters back, which was basically you can increase the limit of any one limited item up by 1, so you could have like 2 anti-tank rifles. Helsing reference, it's more like Vlad the Impaler, but sure. Spectral, ignore penalties for moving through difficult terrain. Other terrain affects them normally. Undead, you negate, you have fear, and you negate gas. The Sarcophagus Mine is still dog shit. It's a shittier version of the, what's it called? I mean, it's not really a shittier version. It's kind of better because my friend was using what's it called? I can't think of the name of them. He was using ecclesiastic prisoners wrong. It's basically an ecclesiastic prisoner, except you can only have 2 of them, and they have -3 armor. That's pretty it. That's pretty much it. Tank Palanquin has gotten buffed. So how Tank Palanquin worked, let me go ahead and go back over to it, where is Attack of the Dead Men? Tank Palanquin, here we go. It gives you raised platform, which is basically you're counted as being 2 inches high, so you always get +1 to hit. And it also acted as machine armor, which, as we all stated previously, machine armor, if you have the tough keyword, it basically just gave you -3 armor. But also, here we go. It even doubly sucked because they also just reminded you that if you're not in New Antioch or a sub faction, you still only get the -3 armor. Now, Tank Palanquin acts fully as machine armor now. So you ignore down results and turn them into minor hits. Pretty fucking neato. Also, you're elevated up to 3 inches instead of 2 because elevated is now 3 inches. So I believe all of my trenches no longer give elevated positions, which is kind of cringe. Model with a tank palanquin, yeah, it's on a 50 bonus, and then only gets a D3 charge bonus instead of D6, which I keep forgetting. Knights of Avarice has received no changes, I believe. You're able to take a item from New Antioch and from the Iron Sultanates, and this might change when you get what's it called? When we get Hebrew Knights, we might also be able to steal shit from them, which would be cool. I hope they go on the old Stoker lore where he can do shit like shape and slip through cracks in walls by turning into smoke. That'd be cool. I also hope, I don't think they will, like, just bring out Vlad because they're not bringing out named characters for any models. That being said, the lieutenant for the Prussians is literally like Hauptmann Frieda or whatever her name is. It's literally the same model as the art, who is like the fucking warrior princess of the Prussians or something, but that's not the point. I would like, here, let me look it up because this shit is sick. Is it Bram Stoker? It's just Bram Stoker Dracula armor. I would like for like the leader of the Order of the Dragon to have this shit. The old Bram Stoker's fucking Dracula armor where it looks like flayed flesh. That would be fucking cool. Like, whatever this is, I don't know what this is from, but like this shit's cringe. Give me the look of a flayed man. Give me the Ramsay Bolton look. Like, this shit is just fucking metal. It looks so fucking cool. Especially when you put it in like lighting like this. Like, god damn, man. Looks fucking awesome. Anyways, I would like that for Order of the Dragon model. I think that'd be fucking awesome. Mephiston, yep. All your weapons become gas if they have shrapnel or flame. And you cannot take flamethrowers, I don't believe. You cannot take death commandos because Mammon hates Beleth, the Demon of Wrath. Every model must be 80 ducats or more. Unless you're wretched, then you're allowed to be poor. Yeah, preserve the loot. Any fire or shrapnel becomes gas and gains the ignore armor keyword and -1 injury dice. The Price of Greed, which I believe is the exact same, but I'll keep reading it, is a heretic, or it replaces Puppet Master on the Heretic Priest. And basically you do a risky action. On a success, you roll on the injury dice table and you add +1 dice for every -1 injury modifier they have on their armor. So the better somebody's armor is, the more of a chance you have of killing them, as is the price of their greed. They also get a few items. The Coin Hammer, which is really funny. +1 injury dice, two-handed, but you only get 2 of them, so you're only putting them on anointed. However, every time you cause a blood marker on somebody, you gain a blessing marker, which is really funny. The Golden Calf, which is a piece of terrain that you drop on the ground. I don't understand why they made this a thing, because it is a 25mm piece of terrain that you have to move within 1 inch of, and if you're within 1 inch of it and you're trying to do actions, it counts as impassable terrain, and that's it. Gas bombs on, what's it called? Artillery Witches. Here we go. If a model has been hit by a gas bomb and it's not taken out of action, it gets flung D3 inches away. Same thing. The Standard of Mammon, which is actually really fucking good. if an enemy here you go, an enemy model that is down and within 1 inch of a model within the standard of the model cannot stand back up. In addition, if you charge into here we go. Yeah, if you try to charge into an enemy with the standard of Mammon within 1 inch of them. Oh no, if you try to do any roll within someone holding the standard of Mammon, if you fail, you automatically go down. That's so interesting. And then the tarnished armor, which is heavy armor with a gas mask, and if somebody is charging you and they're not in combat, they have to charge you. And Naval Raiding Party, who I forgot who plays Naval Raiding Party here, but somebody was talking about Naval Raiding Party. Same thing as normal. Submachine guns cost 25 instead of glory. +1 injury dice, or not +1 injury dice, +1 dash dice for the entire army. You cannot take a werewolf assault beast. You can only take 1 artillery witch, but you can take 2 anointed now, which is a pretty big buff because now you actually have guys who can carry around heavy weapons. Up to 3 models can have infiltrator for 10 ducats, and that's it. And that is pretty much everything that I have for Trench Crusade, because I do not play court and I do not play Black Rail. Overall, it's not a bad update per se. I'm on the toilet at work. I can only be here for a few minutes. Most unfortunate. I've been doing a lot of late night post cooking and cleaning. Finally done. You speak pretty well in a line. I have no idea what that means, but I'll take it. You speak pretty well in a line. What are you, 50? What are you saying? Overall, I think it's better than what it used to be, the rule book. That being said, I feel like some factions got nerfed too much, and I feel like not a lot of factions got buffed. I would have hoped that we would have gotten more sub factions. My understanding as to why they don't, sorry, drunk, fair enough. My understanding as to why they don't make more sub factions is because they're trying to make models for sub factions, which I think is a mistake. I feel like they should not have done that. Also, they're no longer going to be making major STL releases for everything they make. It's just going to be mostly plastic. They're going to do some like specialist models for STLs. So me, somebody who likes digitally kit bashing things, is going to have a lot harder of a time with Trench Crusade, especially with the newer kits that are going to be coming out. That being said, so many people have already made so many amazing models for so many different sub factions that it doesn't really matter. I would have just liked it if they kept making STLs as well as doing plastic, but they said they're going to go all into plastic because it'll make more people play the game, which is true. This really doesn't feel like 1.0, honestly. This just feels like the rule set is finally done. Good morning, Grim. It just feels like the rule set is like actually done. It doesn't feel like a big major release, but I guess that's just like how it is when you go from early access to full release for video games. So it'd be the same way with the rule set. Everything here is pretty much virtually the same. The only difference is that things have been clarified more. So that way there's a lot less weird edge cases. And certain items just got flat out buffed. Certain items got flat out nerfed. Overall, most people got buffs, which is decent. However, there is not a big shakeup going on with any of the sub factions, I feel. Trench Ghosts got nerfed again, which sucks, but I guess they're like super good or something, which is fine. Naval Raiding Party getting an extra anointed is fucking big. That's kind of wild. And what else got changed? I'm trying to remember. Crush is getting nerfed, which is probably for the best. That being said, they're still going to be spamming people with grenades, which is statistically better than using submachine guns, which is what they want people to do. And honestly, I'm kind of just waiting for what are they called? I'm kind of waiting for Red Brigade to get their 1.0 rules updated, so that way I can take a fucking, what is it called? I can take a lieutenant with 2 automatic pistols, shoot somebody, run into melee, and then shoot them again. what's happening in Siberia. If you're talking about real life, I don't know. If you're talking about Trench Crusade, I also don't know. What else? You know, I just wish that more people got buffed or there was more changes. I get why there wasn't, but also it just like kind of feels like a waste to like do a whole fucking countdown for 1.0 rules when the only like major shakeup is that we got the impervious keyword, which makes you ignore armor piercing weapons, which is pretty cool. Past that, not much else. Gonna be real, not much else. It's gonna take about, I think, have a Trench Companion. Which is an updated version of Trench Compendium, which they said there's gonna be a campaign manager. I don't know if this is officially licensed by Trench Crusade. I know they support it, but I don't know if they officially licensed it. Yeah, here we go. I believe they said that they're going to. I also need to be more buff. Real as fuck. I got my 30-hour shift at the ball crushing factory. Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, so I use New Recruit to do my shit, which I like a lot. But I feel like the Trench Companion is going to get updated faster. And how long did they say? So 1.6.4 is going to be preserved. I don't know why, but sure, whatever. But the old version of the rules are going to be preserved by both Factory Fortress and Trench Companion. And yeah, here we go. They said that the rules are going to be updated for you to use the army builder within a week or two. So in about 2 weeks, you'll be able to use an actual army builder, hopefully. Until then, you're stuck going through the fucking, what's it called? You're stuck going through battle kits and tables and reading all the points costs of shit. And oh god, it's fucking gonna be awful just pen and papering this shit. Also, all warbands got made smaller. Instead of being 900 ducats and 8 glory, you're now 706 glory. And it seems like the entire system is made to work in campaign, where you should only have 700 ducats and no glory when you start off. Which is the way to play, but if you do that, then you're going to want to play like an actual campaign and not just like the match play scenarios, I feel. But that's like a whole lot of planning and other stuff that people just don't want to do. I would do it, but I don't have many friends who play Trench Crusade. It's only like 2 people who still play it, and that's about it. But yeah, that's about it for that. How long have I been streaming for? Streaming for 2 hours. I would probably keep streaming, but I have to finish some D&D shit, and I know if I'm doing it on stream, I'm not gonna finish it. So, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm probably gonna get off and try to crank out the last of my D&D shit. Because, like, here, let me actually show you what I'm working on. Oh god, there we go. So far for D&D, we have the overview of the setting, the actual map that I had to finally fucking make, which I'm gonna need to label this entire fucking world. Humans, their home, their god. Dark elves, their home, their god. Dwarves, their home, their god. Orcs and other creatures, their god, because they don't have a home because they're fucking, what's it called? Getting off and cranky it is the best. All right, bud. But us annoying you is what makes it fun. Yeah, but I need to get this done. Oni people, because I think Oni are awesome. Their home, which is Detroit, but Asia, and their god. Undead people who were left behind after a war. They don't have a god and they don't have a home. They just have priests that basically put them back together. Nomadic, yes, nomadic. Dragon people, and also technically lizard people. What do I have? Hold on. Oh, I possibly some facts. Now that's more layer than I assumed, but hell yeah. Fluffy, you need to go to church. You really do. That's a layer more than I assumed. You mean? I'm confused. What do you mean? I'm gonna go eat pie and play Deltarune. See ya. I'm gonna get off in like a minute anyways. But dragon people and lizard people, and their god, because their home is heavily protected, so nobody knows where it is. Moth people, because I I don't know why. I just had an idea of like, what if I put moth people in a setting, and I did it. And I didn't think about this, but I made their god called the Radiance. I did not realize this was a Hollow Knight reference until after I made this entire thing. So yeah, Hollow Knight is a fucking thing in my D&D campaign now. Crow people, because one of my players wanted to play a crow, but also Kenku are just really fun. And they're big crow lady god. And I'm now adding mushroom people, because I think mushroom people are really funny, and I think people should have mushroom people in their settings. But that's about it. I don't have anything else to add. I'm gonna try to finish this up, and I think it'll be fun. Moth, lizard, mommy? No, only moth or lizard, not both. That's too much. Too many things mixing together, and I'm pretty sure those species are not compatible with each other, insects and reptilians. But yeah, I am gonna get off. I will. Good night, King. Jesus Christ, thank you, Lost, yet again. I'm not gonna be streaming until Friday, which is when the orc video should finally be done, because I'm no longer depressed and I need to finish shit. But the script is, you know, a work in progress. I say I wasn't gonna do a script. I need to at least have like an outline for what I want to talk about, so I need to do that. And then after that, orc video. So you guys will have that to look forward to on Friday. And I'm actually gonna try to release a video on Friday this time. I'm not gonna fucking release it on the weekend like I've been doing. That being said, I've been releasing videos on Saturdays and Sundays, and they're still getting a decent amount of views. I'm pretty sure it's because of the thumbnails, but still. I realized I forgot bird people in my setting. Damn it, now I need that. You don't need bird people. I had one person in my first campaign play a bird person, and then he never came to play in that campaign again, so we just said that it was a fucking hallucination, because I think bird people are stupid. I think Kenku are fun, but that's because they have the limitation of they can't speak. Anyways, I'm gonna get off. Good night!